Today on Broadscast, she's an attorney, retired detective, and single mom, and she's dying of cancer. We talk to the woman fighting the state of California to be able to die with dignity.
Plus, he's a Bay Area tech entrepreneur who works from home so he can be with his daughter. That's awesome. So he reached out to a local mom's club to see if he could find some camaraderie with other parents. The result, rejected. But it's not because he's a man, it's because he's a straight man.
Yikes. And our relationship roundup. What's that? Tune in to find out.
Well, I'm tuning in because I don't really even know what that is.
That's what happens when you show up at the show and it's like the laundry fairy in your house.
Oh, I need the laundry fairy.
Yes, my husband thinks it
sucks.
My husband thinks she exists. So, how are you?
I'm awesome.
Great. Well, Tatiana's not here today.
Okay.
She's having a wicked good time in Boston. But we have a special guest. Pam is in the house. You're going to have to pull that microphone close to your face. And so we'll get some opinions from her a little bit later in the show. So David Letterman is
Don't
over.
spoil it. I'm just kidding. I didn't watch the season. I didn't watch the ending yet.
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
And did you see that they threw away the set? Like they basically just went into the studio, took the set, and dumped it into the garbage like immediately. Did you see that?
And you know that probably half of it, if not all of it's on eBay at this point. And I would assume
garbage. Diggers?
Yeah.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah. I don't know.
Dumpster divers.
Dumpster divers. Yeah. Garbage diggers.
Wait, I know this answer.
Kim's so hip.
Yeah.
So we put on our Facebook page, guess which one of us was at the very first David Letterman show on CBS, late show with David Letterman on August 30th, 1993.
Wow.
And people guessed you. They guessed it was you.
I know, that's awesome. But no, I've never been invited.
It was me.
Whee!
I went there. I got out of my local news job in Boston at 11:35 on that night and went and got my friend. And we drove the 4 hours to New York and found a hotel room for a couple hours to get some sleep, which was probably interesting for us to, at the front desk, like, hey, can we have a couple hours? And then we waited for the standby tickets and we didn't get in. So we were outside chatting with other people who didn't get in, and Bill Murray and David Letterman come bursting through the door outside to meet and greet people.
This was the first show?
This was the very first show on CBS, yes. Okay. So, yeah, it was like very, very exciting.
And so what did you do?
And so I shook his hand, and, you could see me. I could actually point it out in circle.
You can find your hair,
my
your
big
Aquanet.
1993 hair, and shaking his hand. And it was very exciting because then I started getting interviewed by local news outlets because, whoa, and it was actually better than getting into the show. Yeah,
they were interviewing why? Because you shook his hand?
It was his first episode, so they were all there to get the excitement and the audience, and so I had my wicked big accent on, and I was like, "Oh, it was so awesome!" and "Oh my god," and it was good. So.
Well,
anyway.
you know what? What I loved about David Letterman's farewell was actually all of the other talk show hosts that did these amazing tributes. And I don't know if you saw the one that Jimmy Kimmel did. He couldn't even hold his composure together when he was talking about how much of an impact David Letterman has had in his life and how he, from a very
Why was he at the first show too outside?
He was actually behind you. He didn't get on camera. But no, he has emulated him from the time he was a small, young man. And they showed a picture of him when he first got his car, and he had a license plate on that said late night.
Oh.
Yeah, so I didn't realize. And he couldn't even get through his tribute to him. He just was very emotional. And I just thought that was cool. And Jon Stewart did something great.
Yeah, and didn't Jimmy Fallon take the night off so he wouldn't?
No, that was Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh.
Jimmy Fallon may have, but
Jimmy Fallon's like,
and Jimmy Kimmel actually encouraged everybody not even to watch his rerun, which I thought was cool. But anyway, I've not seen.
Because that's what Letterman needed was Jimmy Kimmel's numbers.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. So it's Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, I have some fun facts.
You do?
I do.
All right.
Okay, so Memorial Day, we are legally required to observe a national moment of remembrance. Did you know that? Anyone?
I only found that out when I researched Memorial Day for the show.
Oh, you just took away my fun fact. Okay, I did this. Did you know that it used to be called Decoration Day until the late 1960s?
I did not know that.
Ah, I got one. Yeah.
But so more on that. Go back to that.
So we're legally required to observe National Moment of Remembrance. In 2000, Congress passed law requiring Americans to pause at 3 p.m. local time to remember and honor the fallen.
Did you know that, Peter?
Yeah, I knew that. But
wow.
My mom was in the Army.
Oh.
So do you do that?
And you didn't know that. Did you know that? Pull the mic closer to your face.
To the flag and all this. No one can hear me.
I know, no one can hear you.
Peter's mom was in the Army.
Here.
Right? Are you gonna tell us the story?
Peter,
Hi.
tell us about your mom. Good morning.
Good morning, Broads.
Good morning, bro.
No, I was just saying.
Your mom was in the Army?
My mom was in the Army, so we pledged allegiance to the flag and all that stuff.
Wait, every day?
We did do it every day.
In your house?
In the house. Well, we did it on the weekend because I did it at school. But
right.
Then I guess I'm not up to date with the times. But I don't think they do that all the time everywhere.
At school?
Oh, I don't know about everywhere, but every morning.
When I was in high school, people started I'm not gonna say that and stuff like that. But we said because I have a bunch of military in my family.
Right.
And my mom was one of them for 16 years.
Wow.
She was in the armed forces. So.
Wow.
So
that's fantastic.
So we
celebrate Memorial Day. It's a big party, big barbecue, big.
But you have the real meaning, it's not.
I suppose.
Yeah.
But
just the rest of us
do.
just are excited we get to wear white officially. That's pretty much what we're. And hey, I got jiggy.
And
did it
some
last
of us
week.
shouldn't.
Yeah.
And that includes me.
Yeah. Well, you're also if you're going to fly a flag on Memorial Day, it's customary to fly the flag. That is a tongue twister. Fly the flag at half staff until noon, and then raise it until sunset.
See that?
Did you know that?
I didn't.
Well, okay.
Wow.
I think that's awesome. Anyway,
right.
I mean, I think I hope that people take a moment to reflect back, and to truly honor the people that do so much to protect our country. And I actually do that. I don't think I stop at 3 p.m., but I think officially today I will.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get caught.
Well, Monday. But
I mean Monday.
But be safe also. But we have to take a break.
Okay.
When we come back,
the single mom fighting the state of California for her right to die with dignity. Don't miss that.
And the dad rejected by a local mom's club for being straight. You're listening to Broadscast on KHTS AM 1220, your hometown station. Welcome back to Broadscast. We're taking your call, 661-298-5487. Again, 661-298-5487. Call us.
All right. So he is a Bay Area tech entrepreneur who works from home so he can be with his daughter. He reached out to the local moms club to see if he could find some camaraderie with other parents. The result, he was rejected, but not because he's a man. It's because he's a straight man.
What?
So I think we should just talk to him. So Haran, are you on the phone with us?
I am here, yeah. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, what happened?
Look at you making news.
I'm clueless as well.
Well, that's typical for a straight man.
Oh,
But I'm just kidding.
She's single. Don't hold that against her.
It is true. It is true that we're clueless, and this is why I wanted to join a mother's group. At the end of the day, mother knows best.
Oh, wow.
You're making points. You're making points.
So you wanted to join this mom's club. So you filled out you had the child. I went and did a little research. You had to have a child between 0 and 5, which you have. And what happened?
So the basic demands are that you have a child between up to, I think, 5 or 6 years old, and you have to be local, and that's it. And I applied, and the response I got that the club is for mothers only. My wife is welcome to join unless I'm in the same sex with a child. Then they would be happy to accept me, and that's where it takes a weird turn because.
As much as I can understand your need for camaraderie and community, because my husband and I tend to switch roles sometimes, and he's spent at least up to a year at a time home with our kids, that, there are things that happen in some of these moms club groups that are more female. They may not be comfortable with a male around, whether it's talking about childbirth or issues or, things that they just want to have that group. So I understand why there are men's clubs. I understand why there are, and I think that, if we start to fight every one of those, we're going to be fighting a long time. But what's really strange is that if you were gay, you would be welcome. So it's not that you're a man, it's that you're a straight man. What is happening at these events that I mean, what are the women and the gay men doing?
I don't know. I've never been to those clubs.
Yes, because you were not invited. So
I wasn't accepted.
So I actually have a question. So why a mom's club as opposed to a dad's club or a parents club? Like, why specifically the mom's club?
So, hey, I'm new to this world. I had no idea that there are clubs, and a friend at the JCC told me, "Oh, you should join a local mothers group," because I was asking her what I should do with my daughter. Mm-hmm. And that was it. I just joined. I never imagined that there would be a problem. I just thought, I'll get to take my daughter to the park, and there will be other kids there.
Right.
I wasn't planning on sitting there and talking about childbirth.
Right. And
completely.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, just that you have a different take on life with kids, and I think that it actually is valuable to women to have a man in the group.
So, what did you think when they came back and said you had to be part of a same-sex marriage? Is that what encouraged you to take it to the street, so to speak?
Yes, I would completely understand if they would say this is only for women, and I would say, like you said, they're talking childbirth and whatever. They want to feel comfortable. I accept it. I don't think it should be like that, but I accept it.
Right.
When they wrote that if I were in the same sex, this is where I lost it, because it's not just a slight sexual discrimination. This is not gender discrimination. This is actual sexual discrimination.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So what are you going to do now? So what are you going to do now? Now that they've turned the policy around, right, to allow you to be part of the group. Is that right?
I have no idea.
Well, I saw that they made a statement that it was a membership error, and that you and your family are welcome to join them.
What does it mean, a membership error?
Yeah, exactly.
That means that you pulled the veil back
down their own opinion in a response letter, and then someone above them decided this is a mess, and they issued a statement to the TV. What's a membership error?
Right. Absolutely.
I have no idea what that means.
But you're absolutely right. This is, bigger than it. It can be played off as like, oh, look, he was rejected by the Moms Club. Isn't that funny? Or, but they're likening a gay man to a woman, or that his role is as a mom. So even if you have two men as the parents, they are both fathers. One isn't a mother, and one isn't a father. They're fathers.
Right.
So if you have a mom's club, you decide which one is the role of the mom? Like, it's ridiculous.
Right. It's an antiquated concept, but I mean, I hope for your sake that you say, forget that and go off and form your own club that gets your needs met as a stay-at-home dad, because I was raised by a father, and I fully support and applaud your efforts, and congratulations to you for pulling the veil back on something that I think we should be looking at as a bigger picture.
Yeah, and if any of the listeners are in the Bay Area, they should look you up, because I bet there are a lot of stay-at-home dads or, parents in general who would like to get together and get more than one side of the parenting equation.
I totally agree. I wonder how many other men have applied to join that specific mothers club and were rejected for being straight.
Maybe you should get their names.
For me, Maybe all the rejected straight men should form a club.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Well, we'll be behind you. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have a good one.
You
too.
All right, so we'll be right back after the break. We're taking your calls, 661-298-5487.